Hey guys, Lucky Tremendous here, and I'm back again for another episode of Lucky Talks Motion Pictures. Today we're back again for a long-awaited movie review, and today I thought I'd do a movie review that really struck a chord with me. You see, before I became the man who had watched over 600 movies in just a couple months, I did start out from humble beginnings. I did have to start watching movies somewhere, and of course one of the very first films I watched, maybe one of the first 10 I ever watched, was a film from 1997, a film that captivated audiences world over, and some that most, or at least some, movie fans don't really think of very much anymore. The Fifth Element, starring Bruce Willis and Gary Oldman. The film is a massive sci-fi space epic, almost to the scale of Star Wars, but of course not really the same thing. It was actually made on a $90 million budget, but didn't really gross that much, which is why some consider it a failure, but of course most consider it one of the best films of the 90s. Without further ado, my friends, let me get to talking about one of the oddest films to come out of a single decade of the 90s, The Fifth Element. In 1914, aliens known as Mondoshans, I believe that's how you say it, and that's how I wrote it on here, arrive at an ancient Egyptian temple to collect, for keepsaking from World War I, the only weapon capable of defeating a great evil that appears every 5,000 years. It sounds like every anime backstory ever made. The weapon consists of 4 stones, containing the essences of the 4 classic elements, and a sarcophagus containing the 5th element, in the form of a human, which combines the powers of the other 4 into a divine light capable of defeating this great evil. The Mondoshans promise their human contact, a priest from a secret order, that they will come back with the weapon in time to stop the great evil when it does eventually return. We then fast forward 350 years into the future, into the year 2263. The great evil appears in deep space in the form of a giant ball of black fire. You gotta admit, this is a really ambitious project right here, and it actually destroys an attacking Earth spaceship. The Mondoshan's current contact on Earth, a priest named Vito Cornelius, informs the president of the Federated Territories about the history of the great evil and the weapon that can stop it. As the Mondoshans return to Earth, they are ambushed by Mangalores, a race hired by the industrialist Jean-Baptiste Amelzorg, who has been directed by the great evil, sending messages as a man named Mr. Shadow to acquire the elemental stones. The Mondoshan spacecraft is destroyed, and the only survivor is a severed hand in a metal glove from the 5th element's sarcophagus that still contains some living cells. Human scientists take it to a New York City laboratory, where they use it to reconstruct a powerful humanoid woman who takes the name Lilu, played by, I believe her name is pronounced Mila Jovovich. Very odd. I can't even pronounce it. I do know that she's Ukrainian, or from that area of the world, kind of like I am. She's terrified of the unfamiliar surroundings, and she breaks out of confinement and jumps off a high ledge, crashing into the flying taxicab of our main character, Corbin Dallas, played by none other than Bruce Willis himself, a former major in the Special Forces. Dallas delivers Lilu to Cornelius and his apprentice David, and it is revealed that she is the 5th element. As Lilu accumulates to Earth and prepares to seek out the element stones, Cornelius learns from her that the stones were not on the Mondoshan ship, but have been entrusted to an alien opera singer, the diva Plavlaguna. You just can't write this stuff. Zorg kills many of the Mangalores for their failure to obtain the stone, instantly kills them. Gary Oldman is a savage in this movie, but the survivors determined to seize the artifacts in revenge for their comrade's death. Learning from the Mondoshans that the stones are in the Plavlaguna's possession, General Monroe, I'm just going to call him General Monroe, Dallas's former superior, recommissions Dallas and orders him to travel undercover to the planet Philuston You guys will have to watch the movie to learn how to correctly pronounce these words. To meet the opera singer in a flying luxury hotel where she is performing a benefit concert, a radio contest rewarding a big vacation, sponsored by the flamboyant talk show host Ruby Road, played by Chris Tucker. Oh my god, I actually had no idea who Chris Tucker was when I first watched this movie, but now that I've seen him in action, it makes watching him in this film so much more funny. He's just unbelievably random. He pops up, he zooms in. It's just too 90s to ignore. Ruby Roan is rigged in order to secure Dallas's passage. Dallas takes Lilu with him after learning she and Cornelius are on the same mission he is. Meanwhile, Cornelius instructs David to prepare the temple designed to house the stones, then stows away on the spacecraft, transporting Dallas, Lilu, and Rode and his entourage to the cruise liner. Right after a magnificent opera performance that nearly drove me to tears, honestly, there's something really amazing about a blue alien opera singer. Unfortunately, she's killed right after her performance is done when the Mangalores attack the hotel during the concert, but Dallas succeeds in retrieving the stones from the dying diva. During his struggle with the Mangalores, he manages to kill their leader, rendering the remaining soldiers unwilling to continue fighting. Meanwhile, Zorg arrives, shooting and seriously wounding Lilo before taking a carrying case that he presumes carries the stones back to his spaceship. He leaves behind a time bomb that forces the hotel's occupants to evacuate. Discovering the case to be empty, Zorg returns to the hotel and deactivates the bomb, but of course a dying Mangalore sets off his own bomb, destroying the hotel and subsequently killing Zorg for good. Dallas, Cornelius, Lilu, and Rode escape with the stones aboard Zorg's spaceship to head to the temple. As the great evil approaches fastly towards Earth, the four join up with David at the temple. They arrange the stones and activate them with their corresponding elements. But of course, on the spaceship, having witnessed and studied so much violence in human history over the last 300 years, if there's one thing we humans did in the 20th century, it was discover fashion and perfect violence and torture. So yes, Lilu has now become disenchanted with humanity and refuses to save it, deeming it unworthy of being saved. However, Dallas loudly declares his love for Lilu and kisses her, restoring her faith. Well, we've only got 10 minutes left of the movie, so we gotta wrap this stuff up. In response, Lilu combines the powers of the stones and releases the divine light onto the great evil, destroying its power and stopping it for good. She and Dallas are hailed as heroes. As dignitaries wait to greet them, are last seen embracing passionately in the recovery chamber as the movie fades to black. The Fifth Element is, well, it's a very mixed bag. It was really polarized by critics over 20 years ago, although it did receive mainly positive reviews from them overall. It's been called the best summer blockbuster and yet the worst because it did its job, it also failed in certain areas. I mean, it's got a lot of great elements that many people would want in this big drama, of an awesome summer thing. It has awesome battles, great actors, a really amazing story, great special effects. It's got everything you could want, but many plot holes. Although, you can't deny, the frickin' CG in this movie is top notch. The flying taxi cabs and police cars, wow. I was just in awe at seeing that for the very first time. I was thinking, wow, this is amazing. Not to mention that opera scene. That was incredible. I would consider her a female Pavarotti. I mean, this film is just too many words, honestly. It's left a major legacy as a science fiction cult classic and will surely be remembered for many years to come. No doubt it's definitely this director's most famous film, as he's not known for making many masterpieces, except for this one. Thank you all so much for watching my review of 1997's The Fifth Element. If you liked this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos like this. And as always, my friends, I'll see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.